Hi, I'm Emily Creo, and welcome to Employer Coffee Chat. Today, our employer is the Museum of Fine Arts. How are you guys?
Cool. Very good, Emily. How about you?
I'm good. I just have a few questions for you. First one is just tell us a little bit about your organization and your roles. So let's start with Evelise.
Sure. So I'm Evelise Cruz. I am the Academic Programs Associate at the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston, and I have the pleasure of working with.
Herb Jones. I am the Senior Program Manager for Internships at the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. We are a major art institution in the city of Boston. We've been around since 1876, and we currently house over 500,000 objects of art. We preserve and conserve objects and exhibit and display them, and we also engage with families and communities to bring them to art and bring art to them throughout the city.
And I also believe that doesn't the Museum of Fine Arts have tickets free for people who hold a Boston Public Library card?
Yes, they can. People can go to the Boston Public Library and access our free museum library passes.
So back to the employer part. When interacting with the emerging workforce, what makes an application for a job or internship stand out for you guys?
Well, I think for me, when I'm reading through applications for internships, the first thing that I look for is to get a sense of curiosity, a sense that the person is really telling their story in relation to the position that we are advertising for or promoting, and the sense that they've really thought through what it is that they like to do and how the museum actually fits into their life plan or their career plan.
Yeah, I would say the same for a lot of what Herb said, just echoing it. I think when you think about applying to a job or an internship, it's easy sometimes to forget that the hiring manager is going to sit down and probably go anywhere from like 10 to 50 cover letters in a row that they're reading through. So it's always helpful to have something that kind of helps you stand out. And I think that more often than not is kind of that personal element. Like it's very hard to capture an entire being on a piece of paper. So when you have something that says like, I'm interested in this job or opportunity because this is where it's going to get me in my career, or this is a particular interest or passion of mine, and this would be the perfect opportunity to kind of grow into that, that's something that tends to stand out and really make you seem like a special candidate.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of when applying for internships. You want to make sure that you stand out for your employer and show that you are the right person for the job.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything that you guys would like to tell future graduate students or undergraduate students now about kind of what you would look for personally for a intern?
I would say again, like that, kind of like this curiosity. I think it can be very intimidating applying to internships or jobs when you're still a student just because you don't have traditionally a ton of professional experience that you're walking through the door with. And I think like that shouldn't deter you from seeing yourself as a strong candidate. I would say transferable skills are really something to focus on. I think when I'm looking through applications or even just speaking with people who are planning on applying to the internship program, it's so valuable to kind of look at the experiences that you've had, not as a one-to-one, but really think about what did I walk away from this experience with. Perfect example, if you work at like a coffee shop, okay, right there, in your mind, you're just pouring coffee on a daily basis with your coworkers. But in my perspective, I would say you know how to be team-oriented, you know how to work collaboratively in a fast-paced environment, you know problem solving, and yeah, there's a lot of skills that go into that. So I would say don't look at your experience if it's like a short list and think that you don't qualify or that there's nothing of value there. I really value curiosity, transferable experiences, and then when people are able to say how this opportunity is going to help them grow, that's something that kind of tends to stand out.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd say to sort of add to that, just finding ways to paint your experience as a parallel to the position description that you're responding to, and to say, for instance, I have done, as Lee said, I've worked with people. I have great experience working with people. Or I have great organizational experience, or I have great time management because I did this job or I held this position at this place. Being able to make those parallels between what you've already done and what it is that this position will be calling you to do.
And then one final question. What is kind of a automatic no when it comes to looking at applications or for internships or jobs? Like what is one thing where you're like, that I'm not even going to look at the rest.
Do you want to take this one?
Yeah. Jeez. So the first thing that I look at is, did the person follow the application instructions? We try very hard to be very specific in what those application instructions say, and we place them in a number of different locations on the website front page, within each description. And so we like to feel like you have read those descriptions of those instructions and that you are following those instructions. And failure to follow those is the quickest way to sort of not be in the running any further.
Yeah, I would say that, and then in the same light, just really paying attention to details. I think it's always gives us a little chuckle when we get a letter and it's like, "Dear Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum." It's like, ooh, good start, but wrong place.
Yeah.
I think it is a lot of pressure when you're applying, when you're writing a cover letter. You're so worried about all of these moving parts that it can be easy to remember the fine details, but before you click that submit button, just look over it one more time and make sure you have the key info correct, including the formatting.
Well, personally, I now feel like I'm an MFA expert on internships. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.